Prochaine course au départ, le 4x homme.
It's now time for the men's 4x100 meters relay final.
Men's 4x1 final now up. World record holders Jamaica 36.84 not qualifying. The Canadians.
Second in Tokyo, third in Rio, world champions. Most recently in Eugene in 2022, anchored by Andre de Grasse.
China racing in lane 8.
They won their semifinal, surprising many people, but they were third in Tokyo and fourth in Rio. They know how to turn up for the Olympic game finals.
The South Africans will race in lane 7.
Anchored in their semifinal by a great run by Akini Simbine, who finished fourth in the open 100 meters, moving them from 6th to 2nd position.
Yes, impressive closing leg by him. And here are the French stars. The crowd embracing their homeboys.
French third in London in 2012, 6th at the World Championships last year, will be definitely drawing on the energy of the crowd.
And there are the race favorites. The USA. Curley will be on anchor.
They moved Fred Curley from second leg to anchor, and he added Kenny Bednarek.
Pretty strong British team, this.
The Brits were the champions most recently in 2004. Azu, who full started in the Open 100, will be leading them off. He's a great starter.
And the Japanese in lane 3, 38.06, their season's best.
Japanese won silver medals in 2008 Beijing and in Rio.
And here are the champions from Tokyo, the Italians.
They're led off on second leg with the former Olympic champion of the 100 meters, Marcel Jacobs, who finished 5th in the Open 100. They are the European champions.
Flashback here of the women's 4x100.
Remember, the Brits might have been in trouble on that second exchange. I'm not sure if that's why they're showing us the replay or they're just teeing up the excitement for the men's race. And here again, the Brits having huge problems as Hunt passed to Daryl Nita.
I think both botched exchanges were made just inside the change zone. Shaqiri, a glance over the right shoulder. A bit of disdain there from the American star. Yeah.
Well, as I said in the semifinals, when she ran past the German, is Sha'Carri Richardson doing Sha'Carri Richardson things. She loves to celebrate. That celebration was muted, of course, by Julian Alfred in the 100 meters.
A disqualification for the Switzerland team. The USA confirmed 41.78 as winners over Great Britain. It's now time for the men.
The Americans in good position. They set the world leading mark, 37.40 at the World Relays, and ran 37.47 in the semifinals. Here we see Andre de Grasse, the Tokyo 200-meter champion. French team, Zazé. Those who are historians of the sport will remember the French briefly held the world record back in 1990 when they ran 37.79. Fred Curley, third in the 100 meters, will be doing anchor duties. He had a faulty exchange with this man, Christian Coleman, who led off the Americans. I think to be safe, they moved Fred Curley over to the anchor leg and inserted the 200-meter silver medalist from last night, Kenny Bednarek, on second leg. Aaron Brown leads off the Canadians. The Canadian quartet has had a lot of success together. They look to continue that streak.
Veterans, these Canadians, 32-year-old Rodney and Brown, Blake at 28, DeGrasse at 29. Brown, the lead-off runner, and this man, 200-meter champion at the Tokyo Olympic Games, will be on anchor. China has Jiaping Chen, the 22-year-old, on their final leg.
Third in Tokyo, fourth in Rio, winners of their semifinal.
Walaza, opening leg here for the South Africans. Akana Simbini on the final leg for them.
Two teenagers on this South African team, but with that man on anchor, they always have a shot.
Listen to the crowd for the French presentation. Zeze on the opening leg for them.
They won a world title in 2005 France with Laje Doucouré, the sprint hurdler, on their first leg.
Christian Coleman, two-time world indoor champion over 60 meters and former outdoor 100-meter champion, is lead off for them.
The Americans have won this event 15 times, but not since Sydney 2000. And the last time they've medaled, believe it or not, folks, Athens 2004, when they got the silver medal behind the British team.
Always strong, the Brits. Azu Hinchcliffe, Mitchell Blake, and John L. Hughes will be on anchor for them. There's Hughes, born in Anguilla in the Caribbean. He's ready. The Japanese are in lane 3.
Then they came second in 2008 and 2016.
They were champions in Tokyo, the Italians. Pretty young unit, this. Jacobs will be on the backstretch leg for them. He was an Olympic champion over 100 meters in Tokyo 3 years ago.
Yeah. Filippo Tortu made world championship finals several years ago in the 100 meters and finished second this season in the 200 meters at the European Championships. This is going to be another exciting one.
Have to admit, though, the Americans come in here as favorites.
Huge favorites, despite the absence of Noah Lyles.
Doesn't make them any less dangerous.
Immense depth in US sprinting on both sides, men and women. At this point, the men even more so.
But they need to get that stick around.
That's important. Slipper conditions, raining at the Stade de France. Those final leg runners expectant, hoping the baton goes around safely to them. Strong start there by Coleman for the USA. Closing in on the Brit early. Bad changeover by the USA. They've lost a lot of ground here. Britain go charging forward. South Africa running well. The Brits looking to have a slight advantage here on the outside. The Canadians moving well also. The Americans trying to recover. Final changeover. DeGrasse for Canada. The Italians on the inside finishing fast. Here comes John L. Hughes, sprouting wings and coming forward, but it's Canada with the victory, 37.50. What a race that was. The USA messing up the baton change, and Andre DeGrasse covers himself in glory with a fabulous final leg. John L. Hughes threatening with a big final leg for Britain, but the Canadians, not for the first time, celebrating a gold medal at a global 4x100 meter men's race.
And the streak continues. The U.S. men's team have not won an Olympic medal since 2004. 20 years later, they're still messing it up, despite having the 4 fastest men, despite the amazing run by Christian Coleman, the world 60-meter record holder. The messing up that pass with Kenny Bednarek, who they inserted into second rather than keep Fred Curley. And now we see Akina Simbine, who's made so many finals, finally getting an Olympic medal in this 4x1. But the Canadians, with their experience, World championships champions most recently in 2022, showing why they are now the Olympic champions.
Benerick appeared to have gone off too early, and Coleman didn't catch him.
I think he did. Went off way too early, Kenny Benerick. And I wonder just how much work they would have done with this change. Coleman to Benerick. Had to stop to collect the baton. Horrific for the Americans. But what can you say about the the Canadian team? This unit just keeps surprising. Global championship of the global championship. Brendan Rodney with another fabulous third leg. And when you have the type of chemistry that the Canadians have, you know that when it comes on to this big finals, they will give a true representation of their form, if not even better. Sonal Hughes with a terrific anchor leg. At one stage, any of 5 teams could have won it. Andre DeGrasse, Mr. Ever Reliable on the anchor leg, carrying it home for the Canadians.
The first time the Canadians have won since the unit with Donovan Bailey, Bruni Surin, Glenroy Gilbert won in 1996. The last 3 Olympic Games, Rio, Canada was 3rd. Tokyo, Canada was 2nd. And now, here in Paris, they finally will stand atop the podium as the Olympic champions.
And that goes with the world title that they won in 2022, beating the Americans in front of their home crowd in Eugene, like the 1996 Donovan Bailey team had done in Atlanta to the Americans. And the Americans, once again, disappointed, no doubt. They just can't seem to get the stick around. You know, it's a running joke in all of the United States of America. In every build-up to the Olympic Games, there is some advertisement saying, let's just get the stick around. Snoop Dogg did one this year. It hasn't helped because once again, they struggle to do it. They have all the talent in the world, they have all the speed in the world, but in the relays, it does not matter if you cannot get the baton around.
Coleman gave them a gold medal winning start. Benerick runs away far too quickly, has to stop. And even now that he gets it, he doesn't appear urgent enough to try to recover. I know he has a smooth running style and he may be giving 100%, but there's something casual about him for me on that backstretch as well.
Oh, you can see how upset he is. He's going to feel this one for many years to come. He just looked like if he went to sleep on the backstretch and then never quite booted in his mind what he needed to do.
Canada gold, South Africa silver, Great Britain bronze, 37.50 the winning time. South Africa 37.57 for the silver.